All right, I am checking to make sure that we are live. Hey guys, come on in, come on in. I'm super excited to be here on our Monday night training. Tonight, we're talking about turning our prospect into clients using a sales process. So, I'm just going to my Facebook group. If you're not in my Facebook group, you can go to joinsherry.com. I'm going to my Facebook group because every Monday at 7 p.m. Okay, good, good. Every Monday at 7 p.m. we have a training inside of our Facebook group. So this today I decided to stream it live on YouTube and also decided to stream it on also my business page as well. So if you're on YouTube or if you're on my business page, you got to come to my group. Just go to joinsherry.com. If you're in my group, welcome. Give me a one in the chat, Nikki, to make sure you can hear me good and clear. I'm streaming in 3 places tonight for the training. If this is your first time catching me live, it's your girl, Sherry Summer Bell. I'm super excited. I have a group for female insurance agents and financial pro, helping you, number one, as always, create your credibility. 2, create that community. And 3, create cash flow with ease. So if you're in the financial space or your female financial agents, inside of my group is where it all goes down every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And tonight, we're talking about converting prospect into clients. If you're on my email list, you got my email today that I was talking about the process, the framework that I teach my ladies inside of my Joyful Tribe Builder Academy. Inside of Joyful Tribe Builder Academy, we have a 5-step framework that we use to create consistent cash flow. 6 and 7 figure earners inside of and show them the steps to create that cash flow. And step number 3 is something I want to talk about tonight and expand on, and that is conversion point, right? Your conversion tool. That conversion point is that part of getting that client on the phone when you're finding you do all the traffic, you drove traffic as in leads to your calendar, and then now it's time for you to get them on the phone. And this is exciting. How you doing, Noel? Thanks for catching me live. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I just flew back from Mexico, so, so I am like still in my Mexico time, and whoo, Jesus, a lot going on. So just flew back from Mexico. I had a great time with hubby, and here I am live. Why? Because I'm disciplined to my business. So I am here teaching you how to convert your prospects into clients. And one of the things that is so my area, my superpower, if you're like, what is she talking about? Superpower. I talked about that last week. So you got to come to my group to find out more about that. But my superpower is really being able to help you create that credibility in community so you can create that cash flow. That's my superpower. When you're in the insurance space, most of the time what people talk about is getting more leads, getting more clients, getting more leads, getting more clients. They don't talk about how to create multiple streams of income. So you have, my earrings about to fall out. So you have more than one income streams coming in within your existing financial business. And one of the things I want to harp is one things I want to harp on for you is when you are doing your due diligence and you get that client on the phone, now what do you do with them? Now, what do you do with them? And the reason how all of this came about, I have to share my story. One of my clients inside of Joyful Tribe is like, hey, I'm doing all the things and I'm following the framework, or the framework is the key. I'm following the framework, and they're just not grabbing my transformation offer. They're not grabbing the offer that I know that can change your life. And I said, well, how? Why are they not doing that? And as I dive deep, intentionally listen to my clients, and that's what's so important, to have a coach that can listen to you and understand where you're falling short so you can get back on again. When I listened to her, what was happening is this is a person who is phenomenal, has a degree, and phenomenal what she does, have a degree. And one of the things is like, hey, I got the degrees, I am phenomenal, I'm an expert in my field, I've been in my field for a while, so clients should be lining up at the door, right? And I was like, wow, it doesn't really work that way. I think what I love about the internet space, I'm a college grad. I have a master's degree, a bachelor degree. I have all of the accolades. But what I love, and you guys can agree with me this, give me a one in the chat if you guys can agree. What I love about the space, doesn't matter if you have a degree or not, when you come into the online space in marketing your business, driving traffic to your business, you are all on equal playing field. Like it's the degree, the degrees and the experience in business are great because it builds your credibility. And as I said before, one of the things we do inside our free group, the group for financial professionals, the group for insurance agent and financial pros, is we really teach you how to build that credibility there. But it doesn't stop there. The credibility gets somebody's eyes and say, oh, she look like she knows what she's talking about, right? She got some expertise, she got some certificates. It look like she knows what she's talking about. But that's not enough. That's not enough. It's not enough, Noel, and it's not enough, Nikki, right? It's great and it's good because it builds your authority, right? I have a 6-figure framework that literally teaches you how to do that, right? Revenue attraction framework. But besides, it drives the traffic. But when you get that person on the phone, those degrees and those accolades, is that person want to know, how can you help me? They want to know, how can you help me? They're not worried about how much you having degrees doesn't help them. You've been in the financial game for 10, 20 years doesn't help them at all. They want to know, if you're in the financial space, if you're an insurance agent or anyone, or if you're in the tax space, any type of financial space that you're in, if you're an agent in this space, you need to tag somebody that need to hear this stuff I'm about to say. You need to tag your next financial bestie and send this video to them that need to hear what I'm getting ready to say. So plenty of times people with degrees and corporate accolades come into the space of finance and said, hey, I should be able to sell this. I have all these things behind my name. But people getting here and they're like, oh my gosh, it should be easy for me to build my brand and launch a successful business, because I'm just going to tell them my title and they say yes to my title, and just going to tell them that I graduated summa cum laude and I have a doctorate degree. It doesn't work like that in the online space. It doesn't. Some people can buy their doctorate, but that's a whole other show, right? So when you come to this space, of saying that you have the financial expertise to help somebody, understand that your degrees and accolades and your experience and all that just what it does is just build your credibility, your authority, saying, oh, she knows what she's talking about because she's invested in learning. And let me tell you what college is. College is saying to people that you're a person that they can pay attention to because you're disciplined. You started something and you're willing to finish it. That's what college is all about. So the person still has their problem. Your degree and your accolades doesn't mean that you can help the person. The person is more about, how can you help me? I got this problem. How can you help me? You use those titles and credibilities to get them to pay attention. But that's not where the money happened. I got some team MBA on here, right? I love it. I love it. That's not where the money happened. I have 8 clients who have doctor, PhD degrees. I have clients PhD. I have English PhD doctors. That has literally, the grammar is so better than mine, and I make more money than them. So it has nothing to do with when you come into the online space and you're trying to build that brand. It is awesome to have those certificates, and it's awesome to have those things because it kind of show that your credibility and your discipline. That's what it shows. But when you move that person to getting on a call with you or getting on your webinar to see that offer, that signature offer that you use to help them transform their financial life, when you get them in that space, it's a whole different ball game. Let me tell y'all, and this is, I'm switching gears a little bit. My camera keeps jumping to different colors. I don't know what's going on with this camera, but I went to this event and the event was like a gala. It was so beautiful. It was so nice. It was so gay. So these 2 PhD couples went out to speak. and they were amazing. And they were, honey, they got the Obama resume. Okay. The Obama resume. But I'm going to be honest with you. The crowd was like, when are they going to sit down? Sherry, what time you going up there? It's like, Sherry, what time you hitting the stage? Because they, listen, Linda, like they're so boring. And the thing is, they would have some great stuff to say, but they just couldn't wow the crowd. All that degrees and accolades that they have behind their name, and they just couldn't wow the crowd. And the commentator, the guy's like, okay, y'all got 2 minutes. Okay, oh Lord Jesus. And they couldn't wow the crowd. I end up not even being able to speak because they went over their time. Because they went over on their time, I didn't even get to speak. So and trust me, I had nothing on them when it comes to their credibility. They were jam packed. I mean, they probably have 4 pages by themselves on credibility. But the crowd is like, we are ready to go. Where's the food? This is, oh my gosh, will they stop talking? Because so it's one thing to think that you are, or to believe, because it's all going back to your belief system. It's one thing to believe that because you have your accolades and because you have your title in finance and you have an MBA, and like someone says, that you're just going to wow the crowd and you're going to have clients lining up to work with you. No, boo boo. That's not how it work. That's not how it work. There is a conversions. In order for you to convert more sales, your degree just get them to the front door. Your accolades just get into the front door. Your credibility just get them to the front door. There's difference between an accountant, a CPA, a tax strategist. All of these different people have different titles. That's just getting them to the front door, and that's it. But what closed the sale, and let's get into that, what really closed that sale, what convert your people into client is what I want to talk about, is your sales process. I want to ask you really quick before I move on. Do you have a sales process? Put yes in the chat or no. Yes or no. Do you have a sales process? Go ahead and drop in chat right now. Do you have a sales process? It's your sales process that gets your clients to say yes to you. This is why someone without a degree in finance can come in and say and tell you something different because they know their sales process. Can you close? How high is your close margins? Do you have a close? Do you check your close margins, right? So we're going to talk about that. What does your sales process look like? Because your sales process is what get people. Nikki said, yes, she has a sales process. That is so important. And one of the things I'm pulling things from my Joyful Tribe 5-step framework. We have a 5-step framework inside of our Joyful Tribe, and one of them is our conversion point. And in that conversion point is your sales process. Now, let me tell you, grab your Diva notebook, grab your diamond pen. We got to go in and teach you how this sales process work, because I want to make sure that you're not thinking just having these degrees are going to get people to line up. Last week, we talked about creating demand, and last week, talked about inside of our group, we're talking about creating demand and how having the belief system to create demand, that people are out there wanting your offer. And it's in the process of creating demand why when people say yes to you. So last week we kind of spoke about that. So let's talk about some sales process. And when I say sales process, you have your systems, you have your tools. She says systems, baby. And I love that. And yes, systems is one of them. But my sales process is when we're talking about when you get them on the phone and you have a conversation with them. And Nikki's so right. I want to go back just a little bit though. Most people think that the sale happened when you get on the phone. When you get on the phone, they said, hey, and you're calling the person back, you schedule an appointment with me and you have XYZ problem, right? I hate to tell you this. The sales process does not start when you get on the phone. It does not start when you get that prospect who you want to turn into a client on the phone. That's not when the sales process works. The sales process start in the post that you wrote. The sales process start in the reel that you sent out. The sales process start is when you're on vacation with this person and you tell them what you do. Your sales process starts when you first meet or come in contact with that prospect. When they come into contact with you, you or your brand, that is when your sales process starts. The sales starts when they first got in contact with you. When you're cold, they didn't know much about you, didn't know what you do. That's a lot of people think, oh, the sales happen on the phone. No, baby. This you have to position. Hashtag position here. Hashtag position. You have to position yourself. And yes, system is what helps you to be able to do that. You have to position yourself way before you get on the phone with them. Getting on the phone with someone is the last half the battle. I went to an event and there was a whole bunch of people there, and the lady says, "Hey, are you gonna? Are we able?" She asked me my opinion as a person who's a sales expert. She asked me my opinion and say, "Hey, how many people do you think we can close, or do you think we'll reach our revenue goal?" And I said, "No." And I said, "No," boldly. I said, "No." And she's like, "Oh my goodness, why would you say that?" I said to her, I said, "Your sales had to be positioned before your people even get in the room." And as a person that has done 25 now total stage speaking engagements, I can tell you your sales had to have happened in your promo for you to pitch to the right people. You first had to get the right people in the room. You have to position your sales way ahead of time. Way ahead of time. What do I mean by that? Let me get a little deeper. Let's say you have a signature offer, that you have an offer that will help people get results. And that offer in your financial space, you have one offer that will help your ideal target audience transform their life. Let's say you have that offer and that offer, let's say it's $4,000, right? This offer is going to help them save money. It's going to help them give them a peace of mind. It's going to help them get the insurance policy. It's going to help them do all sorts of stuff. It's going to help them with their taxes. It's going to help them mitigate the risk with I'm throwing out all this stuff with y'all when it comes to being in compliance with the IRS. You have this signature one offer. We teach you all of that inside of Joyful Tribe, how to create that signature offer. And let's say that signature offer is $4,000, right? Before you even get on the phone with the person, you have to be marketing to a client that can afford a $4,000 offer. Okay, let me bring it down for a little bit better so most of y'all can hear what I'm saying. If you are targeted, your target market is to sell annuities. Let me have my insurance people. It's to sell annuities. And your annuity package, the client has to make at least $400K for the annuity and to get ready to retire. And the annuity, they need that your target audience is getting retired from their government job and they have $400K and they need to move that and turn that into an annuity. Your marketing to have to be able to attract that client first before you even get them on the phone to close them on an annuity. Because if your marketing doesn't do that, you have the wrong person on the call. So you have to position your sales process from the beginning and based on how your messaging is set up. How your message is set up to that client. And you're like, okay, Sherry, I got you. I see where you're going with this. And give me a yes in the chat if this makes sense to you, if what I'm saying makes sense to you. If you're just starting to sell, when you get on the call, it's too late. Because you have to be able to vet your ideal client before they even get on a call with you. Many of the times when I get on a call, it's like, okay, here's your problem, here's a solution. Do you believe you're in a big enough problem to where you're willing to pay whatever it takes to get rid of this problem? Here's the problem. Because I love doing this thing when people get on the phone with me. I'm like, hey, this is what you said the problem is. This is a solution. Are you willing to get out of the problem? No, okay, I can't help you. There's not a magic wand. I can't help. I'm giving you the solution. If you're not ready, you're not ready, right? So I want you to understand. She said, yes, yes, awesome, good, good, good. Positioning, positioning, positioning. Now, I'm going to bust your bubble again a little bit further. The sales even start further, right? Hold up now, Sherry. You just say that the sales start during my reel, during my marketing, way before an event, way before a webinar, way before they get on a call with me. Now you want to tell me it start even further? Yes, I'm going to tell you your sales process to get your ideal client to say yes to your offer, right? Is start way further than that, way further than before you start advertising yourself, way before that, right? And if you're in the financial space, I'm going to help you out with that because it all goes back to what my favorite word is always what I talk about as a financial life coach. What I talk about, number one, is your sale at the root, at the foundation of your sales process is what I call your belief. Your belief, hashtag belief inside of the chat. Because I can give you a strategy, which we do. We give a 5-step framework inside of our Joyful Tribe Builder Academy for insurance agents and financial pros to literally learn how to make consistent cash flow using one offer, right? We have a strategy. Now, if the strategy does not work, oh my God, what happened? Because there's something else before the strategy. Before you can implement the strategy, the sales process, the methodology of how you help a client move from their problem, giving them a solution, painting the results for them, you have to make sure that you, the person that's helping them transform, you have to make sure you have to make sure they get what you're saying, but you as the person who's speaking, you as the financial professional, you as the agent that is speaking and making that promise that you have something that can help them, you first have to believe it. You have to believe in what you are selling first before you can figure out what is their problem, what is their solution, what is the process to get them their results. You first have to believe you can do it. It's your belief. Yes, yes, yes. I love that, Nikki. It's your belief. Because if you don't believe that you can help this person, help them with being able to outlive their money, helping them with making sure they're staying in compliance, helping them with making sure that their taxes are paid, so the IRS don't come after them, making sure that they're putting sufficient money away and not paying too much that they have to pay. Whatever your unique selling proposition, whatever your unique style of getting people as help in the financial space, you first have to believe that. Because when it roll off your tongue on the call, on the marketing promo, in the email, if you don't believe that, how can somebody buy into what you don't even believe yourself? If you don't believe that you can transform this person's life using the tools in your toolbox, using your transformation offer, there's no way you can sell something you don't believe. So you have to walk in your belief system. So people are talking about, oh, your sales process, you need to find their pain point, find their problem, offer them a solution. I got all of that. I got all of that. But you should be listening to your own inner thoughts, your own inner mind, and saying, do I believe that I have this? Do I believe that I have value? I can help somebody. Now, here's another way for you to believe. Have you tried what you're using? And there's so many people who will say, hey, oh my gosh, I can help them do this. And I said, well, I would ask people like, hey, you sell life insurance. Do you have a policy? Do you have an insurance policy? Because when you are selling something, you want to be able to go through the feeling and the emotions every month when that insurance come out my account. So I know the feeling and the emotion of what my clients go through that need the insurance policy because I have a policy. Right, you're right. If you're doing taxes, or is your business in compliance? Because you're a direct mirror of the results of what people want. I can't be over here talking about marketing if I didn't know how to market my business. I can't be over here talking about selling a policy and I don't have a policy myself, right? I can't be over here in this space if I don't have a tax person working on my taxes, right? So you got to understand that you're a direct mirror of what the type of people you want. So you have to, all of that help to build what I call your belief system. I believe that I can do this with someone because I have used the tools that I am offering to them, because that will help them increase their own belief system. So you first got to, one, believe in your own self, believe in what you're selling. Can you imagine selling a slim tea and you're not using the slim tea that you're selling? Right? Can you imagine that? Right? So, number one, you have to believe first in the framework that you say you do, the model that you have. And you're like, Sherry, what is that model? Well, we help you all of that inside of Joyful Tribe. So that's a different story. Tonight's not about a model. Tonight's about the sales process. So now that you believe that you have a step-by-step process in helping your clients get their results, the next part is, okay, the next part you should be thinking about, okay, how do I show my value to the client so they realize that I am the go-to person, right? So you believe, you have a framework that you do to help your clients get results. So now here's what some of my clients was doing. They get on a call and they would talk about the framework from step by step, boom, boom, boom. And this person is new to buying insurance and they're new to the business world and they don't understand about the tax code and they don't understand anything about that. But so they end up leaving confused more than they were before they got on the call. Right? They no longer have that peace of mind. They no longer have that because the way it's explained to them is just chaotic, and they're just like, okay, I don't know nothing but term life, whole life, permanent life. I came on here and you tell me all this stuff. It's just too much for me. It's just too much for me. And because what happened is, going back with the credentials again, going back with the credentials, you're forgetting that you're not talking to someone of your peers. So you start, instead of moving through the process, which I'm going to show you in a few minutes, you started just telling them all sorts of stuff and 1040 EZ and start using words that they don't understand. And they're confused. And this must be a sales call. And they're confused because you want to show you're so smart and you have all together. So you're going to show them, and this is what you did, this and this. Listen to me. When I hear a client, I'm going to help some of y'all out. I'm going to help y'all out so much today. When you're getting on a sales call, you're looking, if the client's problem is A, and A, because they have told you that this is their situation, because most of the time, when I get on a call, 90% of the time, when I get on a call with somebody, what they think the problem is not necessarily the problem. It's always something else. Woo! And that's for me being able to dissect a person's problem super easy because I've been able to do being in sales forever, for a minute, right? So what they think the problem is normally 90% not the problem. Oh, I need to add insurance to my existing tax business. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because if your tax is selling like hotcakes, why do you need to add insurance to it? Oh, my marketing is off because I'm not marketing. I'm not going live every day. No, you don't. Who said you have to go live every day? Oh, my reel is not, I'm not doing reels every day. So that's why my market. No, no, who told you that? No, many of the time when I get on the call with someone, what they think the problem is not necessarily the problem. It's not necessarily, it is not the immediate or the main problem. It may be a piece of it, but it's not the foundation. That's not the issue. She said, got to educate them in their language. So, exactly. So when I get on the phone with someone, if their problem is A, I'm not going to mention anything about B and C because their brain can't articulate all of that yet. So when someone call me and they say, "Hey, my problem is this. This is what I in the financial space. This is what I have a problem with. I really want to build a downline. I want to add more agents as a partners to my tax business. I want to build a downline in my insurance business. I want to add more team." And I'm like, okay. So what makes you think building more downline is going to be a solution to hitting your six figures? I have more people on my team. And how long have you started insurance? I just started last week or last month or 2 months ago. I'm like, okay, right, okay. And the only reason they're saying I want to build a downline, I want to build a team, is because that's what their upline is telling them. That's what the company's telling them. That's the object. Yeah, because the company want to stay in business, so they're going to keep telling them that. And don't get me wrong, it may be the goal later on, but it's not the goal now. Right now, this second, the goal right now, this second is to be a recognized magnetic brand. If you're just starting out in your industry or you've been in your industry, the number one step is to build a recognized magnetic brand. That's where the credibility part comes in. It's not to build downline or upline because it's because who are you leading? If you can't even attract clients to your business, who are you trying to lead? You got to do some policies and understand what when you write, understand how to write different policies, how to you got to actually use the tools in your business first before you're teaching other people how to use the tool. I had left a upline because she didn't know what she was telling me. Like I kept having to call somebody else. I'm like, well, you don't need to be having a downline right now because you're not my source of information. So I need to find somebody else. So I'm saying that to you because when someone get on the phone with you, don't confuse them. Find out what is the problem. What is the foundation of that problem that they're having. And when you find that it's something called PS or PR, and I think shout out to Stacy because that was something that her formula, and I was like, wow, that's beautiful. I'm gonna share that with you here. And the first one is, what is the problem? What is the problem your ideal client have? And you got to really listen because your ideal client, when they get on the phone with you, they are not going to have the problem. They're not going to know what their problem is. Oh, this is so good. Y'all going to miss this whole thing. They're not going to know exactly what they're going to tell you what they think. They're going to tell you what they think. So you really got to get to the root of what the problem is. And when you get to the root of what that problem is, you offer one solution. So you get to the root of what the one problem is, and then you get to the solution for that problem. And once you get to that solution of problem, you offer. So you got to the problem, you got to the solution, then you say, okay, I got the solution. Here's the solution of what we're gonna do, right? Here's the solution of when what you just got married and you're newlyweds and you want to make sure that something happened to each of you. You want to make sure you have a peace of mind. You want to make sure your house, y'all ain't got to worry about your mortgage anymore. So I see the problem. See, when someone passed away and then one person's stuck paying a mortgage that they can't afford. So you want to take out a policy on that person. So that's the problem. Okay. All right, got it. I got a solution. So I have a solution for y'all. So y'all looking for something that the solution I would offer is mortgage protection, right? That's the life insurance policy mortgage protection, that the money can be used to utilize for your mortgage or for whatever your needs may be. And then I told them that my solution was mortgage protection. That's it. They had a problem, right? They newlyweds, they want insurance. And then the second part is, oh, they want my solution to them was mortgage protection. Now I literally, once I said, oh Lord, people on here spamming me. Once I said what the problem is, once I tell them what the problem is, the next thing I need to do, the next thing I need to offer to them is, okay, here are the steps. They got the problem, they got the solution. Now here's a process. Here's the process of how we do this. And then I started kind of tell them the steps of mortgage protection for their home. I started giving them the steps for them to get mortgage protection. And then I would tell them the results of that is you feel safe no matter what comes your way. So I offer the problem, give them a solution. They give them a short bite-sized steps of what the things look like, right? And because I didn't go to insurance class and get the degree, so I'm not going to give the whole shebang. And then give them the results of what the end goal look like when we complete it. You want to really work through that mythology of that sales process, because what's happening now, you get on the phone with them and you're using all these big words and they're like, what? And they leave so confused. Let me think about it. When a person say, let me think about it, there's a difference when they say, let me talk to my husband, honey. Like that's just like, that means you're just not ready, or they have not seen the value. When a person said they haven't seen, that's because they haven't seen the value, and it's up to you to see the value. And then even if they see the value, they may just not be ready right now. And that's okay. Remember, release them to their pain. Let them keep the pain that they have, because that means the pain is not severe enough yet for them to come back, right, to you. When the pain of trying to change, or they're tired of being a certain way, whenever you're in pain, like you may be wake up and you have a flat tire, right? That's a pain. Like, oh my gosh. And the guy will say, hey, the one tire is 500. If you have the 500, you're just going to work it out. You're not going to think about it because you just want to get rid of that pain. That's how people are, right? That's how people are. I will say, when the pain, one thing Tony Robbins being schooled on him for years, it was more about, if the pain is not severe enough, people are just going to stay with the pain. Just going to stay with it. Just going to stay with it. It's like, because they're comfortable in that space. So you got to educate them in their language, but you got to really take time to find out what is the problem. And when you find out what is the problem, you're not talking to your colleagues. You got to really say, okay, give them one solution for that problem, right? It may be 20 other solutions, but give them one solution, which more than likely, if you're in my group, your signature offer is that solution that we've created with you, your signature offer. And then when you give them that solution, then you kind of tell them about the framework of that solution and how we can help you. And then the results at the end. What does it look like after the results of that signature offer? What does that look like? So we kind of get you through the model of a sales process. But I want to kind of recap before I jump off really fast in our Monday night training. We talk about the fact that the sales start from your belief system. That's where it starts from. You have to believe in your offer, believe in the transformation. You have to be able to use it so you can know, right? And how do you get good at this is the more calls and the more sales conversation you have, the better and better and better you get on the phone. Now, I know some of you saying to Sherry, well, can I at least get my calendar filled so I can have some of these calls? Well, that's where you got to, the first part we talk about with the 6-figure framework, that's where that comes in, right? So let me ask you a question. Are you struggling with the getting the people to the calendar? That's number one. Or are you struggling that when they get on the calendar, I don't know how to close? That's number two. So which one are you struggling with? Driving your traffic to your calendar to get on a sales call, or number two, they're fine, they're getting on the sales call, but I'm not closing. Give me a number one or number two in the chat. The traffic of getting them there, or you're having to convert them into a sale? Is it traffic or is it conversion? Which one? Give me a 1 if it's traffic, 2 if it's conversion, and you can just say conversion or traffic in the comments, either way. But the point here is being able to identify where you need help. Another thing, if it's traffic, give me a 1. If it's 2, give me you need help in converting them once they're in traffic. And guess what? If it's 1 and 2, because I love where y'all be like, Sherry, it's 1 and 2, baby. It's 1 and 2. Put 1 and 2, and my team will definitely reach out to you to help you, walk you through that process, walk you through getting you that help you need to be able, because there's no such thing as converting the sale if there's not enough sales coming, right? And here's why we talk about, if we're talking about a goal, right, that means you need at least that five sales calls on that calendar per week. Can we get 5 weekly on your calendar and say you can close sales on those per week? How about that number? So you say, okay, how do I get those 5? That's what I want to know. Is it the driving the traffic? Some people say 1. I see some 1 in the chat. Okay, good. I see some 1 in the chat. And again, the 1 is the traffic. How do I get the traffic, enough traffic to see my offer, see my pitch, and then say, I want to get on the calendar. Once they get on the calendar and schedule a call with you, that's what we call your conversion. Is it traffic or is it conversion? Go ahead and put a 1 or 2 in the chat, and I guarantee you my team will reach out to you between today and tonight, because it's tonight, to help you really work on that. Because okay, if it's not conversion, we ain't reached that step yet. Remember, one thing at a time. We want to be able to convert your prospect into clients using the sales process. And something you learned today is the problem, the solution, and what is the process to get your clients to the results. What question do you have for me before we hop off? I think that was really good. I don't want to overwhelm you. I think that was a good little piece that you can grab and say yes to. I like that. I really like that process. I like it. Okay, I didn't see any questions here. Let me check my other. Nikki says the traffic. Okay, Nikki says driving the traffic is what you need help with. Okay, so just a little piece. We'll still reach out to you, Nikki, to help you. But I also want to reach out. I want to say is, do you have a marketing process, right? Do you have a marketing strategy? And that you're using, and Nikki, give me a yes or no in the chat, because being able to drive traffic is about finding 3 or less simple things to do consistently to drive those traffic. It's not about doing all the things. It's about having one strategic 3 or 2 things that you use to drive traffic consistently. Because one thing I teach my clients, the first part of the last part of the framework is that traffic source, right? So being able to, what is your way that you have, your cadence? That's what I call it, your cadence. What is the cadence you have, your marketing cadence that you have to keep driving traffic? That's the first thing. Do you have a marketing cadence that you use? What I mean, marketing cadence is something you do over and over and over and over and over and over again to drive traffic. That's what a marketing cadence is. It may be 2 things. It may be having seminar every quarter, right? So this is every quarter, I'm gonna have 1 seminar. It may be that's simple, right? But you know you're committed to it and you're going to execute and doing it. Many of the time, how many of y'all got a whole bunch of reels, which is marketing reels on IG, and you have them inside of your draft, right? How many of y'all record a whole bunch of videos and you have them on your phone, right? We did it. We did the work, but we just never put it out there. That's what I'm saying. We're good at activating, right? When we're talking about superpower, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back inside of the group for insurance agents and financial pro. We talk about that. We have a whole bunch of stuff that we have in our draft and we have on our phone, and we say we're gonna do it. We're good at activating. That's me all day too. So you're not the only one. But thank God for having a marketing strategy to drive traffic to you. And that's and that she said lunch and learn weekly. Oh my, is that what? Okay, so she wanted to do lunch and learn weekly. Oh, that's a great idea. That's an awesome idea. I love that. I love awesome. I'll reach out to you more and find out more about that. I think that's a great way to drive traffic. Like she said, lunch and learn weekly. And then I was looking through so much. She said, girl, I have 56 reels, 40 videos that I still have I'll put out. Yeah, we activate these things and say we're gonna do it, and then we don't finish it. Uh-oh, guilty. I'm not the only one. Okay, I'm not the only one. Definitely. I am not the only one. Good. But that is the thing, y'all. That is the thing. Is traffic comes down to having a marketing strategy. Again, sales process, positioning your offer way before they get on the phone. And then that's your traffic. But then to convert them, then you need that sales process that flow right. That's like that customer journey that flow easily and effortlessly onto the phone call with you. And then when you get on the phone, then you use the process what I just taught you today. All right, y'all. That's all I got. Again, if that's something that you need help with, I love you. I love y'all honesty. I love y'all honesty. I love it, love it, love it. Because I am like that too as well. I am so like that too as well. But if you don't forget anything I said today, I want you to remember that your sales start with your belief. Your sales start with, before you get on the phone with a person, do you have a clear indication of how you can articulate to them in their language, right? In an elementary level language of how you can get them results. And then of course after you can get them results, and then let's say you can't get them results because they may be too further behind. It may be, do you have a way where you can move them to someone else that can help them, or do you have another thing you can move them to? That is so important. All right, y'all, that's all I got for y'all tonight. I appreciate you tuning in and coming to our Monday night training at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You have an amazing night. Talk to you later. It's your girl, Sherry Summer Bell. Have a good night.